To what?
What?
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, 2 Utes.
It has begun!
It's showtime.
I must break.
I'll be back.
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
Good evening, everyone. It's 10 p.m.
What's going on?
Mike's a shithead.
What?
But look who I found. It's David.
Hey. About time.
But there is no Chuck. Chuck is out seeing a band he's been looking forward to seeing.
He had better things to do.
But I can't blame him for that because he's a big music lover, so he's got to go see his death metal bands.
I totally thought you were going to say something.
A big music lover.
Music lover. But anyway, we're your video store clerks.
I'm Dave. Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
I'm Chadman.
I'm Mike.
And tonight we are going to be talking about the 1992 My Cousin Vinny. So for the breakdown, we're going to do some news. Then we'll have our clip of the week. Then we'll throw some ads up there after we talk about the film. But here tonight to talk about My Cousin Vinny with us is the Scene Snobs. I guess what? You're the
brainchild.
Yeah,
the brain
the
trust.
leader of the snob
the
nation.
leader of the pack, leader of the
Snob
Snob
Nation.
Nation. I'm terrible with this. Our man, Mick Manhattan.
What's
Double
up?
M.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
It's been a while.
You guys look like a few Utes.
We are. I wish. I don't know about anymore. It's too much gray.
Did you say Utes?
Just a few.
Just a few. How you been, Mick?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you guys for having me, man. I love this movie. This is one of my
Thanks.
top tens. Remote Trapper, if it's on, I'm just gonna sit and watch it. That's how
Right,
great
that's
this
what,
film is.
Machio calls it the remote dropper. Because if
Oh.
you see it's on, you're going to stop and watch it.
Yeah, that's an old term. He can't have that one.
I don't know.
Screw you, Machio.
Not like the panty dropper.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah,
Remote Trapper doesn't work so much anymore. It did when we were younger, but now you can just watch anything you want at any time you want, wherever you want.
True.
Especially on
people-
Amazon. Cut and edited the way they want it.
Yeah, because I don't have cable. I'm not channel surfing no more. I
Cable
retired
cut.
my board.
Don't blame you.
Yeah. But anyway, let's start off with a bit of the news before we jump into
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death? The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town.
What is it? Snake?
Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out this country, motherfucker.
Yep. Good plan.
only in Alabama.
Oh, I love
Hey,
it.
that's where this movie takes place. But as usual, since we pop out the news, we'll do a little top 10 box office hits this week. Number 10 being The Amateur. It only brought in $725K this week, doing $40.2 million in the last 6 weeks. Number 9, Until Dawn, did $811K this week, doing $19.6 million in the last 4 weeks. See, I told you, you got to come back. You're having a lot of fun.
Having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. We show you the funny.
Number 8, Clown in a Cornfield did 1.3 mil this week, bringing it up to 6.3 the last 2 weeks. Me and David talked about going to go see this Sunday, but guess what? Our theater takes it out of the fucking theaters on Friday. So fuck it. Fuck it.
It was pretty good.
Day only.
I want to see it. Might have to come down your way and see it. It's only like an hour and a half. Number 7, Friendship did 1.3 mil this week, doing 2 million the last 2 weeks. And number 6, Hurry Up Tomorrow. First week out did $3.3 million. We watched a trailer for that. It did not look good. Number 5, The Accountant 2 did 4.7 mil, doing 58.9 the last 4 weeks. And number 4, Minecraft the movie, still pumping money in, doing 5.9 mil this week, doing 417 the last 7 weeks. Number 3 is Sinners, doing 15.1 mil this week, doing 241 mil the last 5. Still haven't seen it. Might have to do a double feature on that one.
It's a great movie.
Number 2, Thunderbolts did 16.6 mil, bringing in 156 mil the last 3 weeks. And the number 1 movie, first week out, Final Destination Bloodlines brought in $51.5 million. Who would have thunk it?
Bloodlines on top.
I mean, you should have known.
People are always down for the murder of Final Destination. And it's Tony Todd's last movie. I'm glad it's doing well.
Right, me too.
For sure.
Just with that Bloodlines title is rough.
Well, they got to enjoy it while they can.
I like it better than the other sequels.
Oh, yeah? I don't remember past the third one.
Exactly.
That's why.
You remember the ones with the stories. Even the second one didn't have a story. The second one was all that logging scene. Name one other scene from that movie.
Something about a bowling ball.
Exactly.
A bowling ball fell out of a closet and hit somebody or something.
Did you see the marketing they did for this film as well? A little viral marketing where they had the logging trucks with the big banner on the back. Or like
I did see that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The billboards where the guys were hanging down dead or whatever. That was pretty cool.
It was good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing this one, but
you can wait till it's out.
I'll wait.
Well, this will be the only week they're on top because dun 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 dun.
And that's why Clown in the Cornfield goes away from our theater next week because fucking Mission Impossible.
Tommy Cruise.
Fucking Tom Cruise.
Well, is Lilo and Stitch coming out?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, that too.
That's a double fuckery.
Double fuck.
Yeah, they're going to clean house next weekend.
Oh, yeah. People will be going to the movies for sure.
Kicking it.
Sad news up first. We got a few deaths. We weren't here last week due to some shit weather we had here. Fucking floods and all kinds of bullshit.
Weather everywhere. Midwest got hit hard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We got hit pretty bad in Western Maryland, and then the Midwest, St. Louis, Kentucky, a lot of those places got hit with tornadoes, man. It's just been a bad week with the weather and everything. So thoughts and everything go out to everybody that's been affected by that. I hope everybody's doing well.
Man.
Yeah, I don't watch the real news. I just look at movie news.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone's dying and it's all terrible.
No shit.
You're all caught up.
Yeah. It's like that fucking shitty Dennis Quaid movie that came out forever ago. With the snow.
Shitty or apt?
The Day After Tomorrow?
That's the one.
No, he was talking about Inner Space.
Oh.
But like I said, we weren't here last week, and still wanted to touch out and say it's funny to see ECW legend Sabu pass away. He was the fucking man. Undeniably the man. And then we had a couple of deaths this week with Joe Don Baker passing at 89 years old. And also today found out that George Wendt had passed away at 76.
Yeah.
So it's still bummers. And then I start to realize again, I'm in my 40s. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting old.
No, Normie, man.
Somebody check on Jason Sudeikis.
Shit's fucking wild. No. But we do have some birthdays today in the good spirits. David Provo, who we just talked about the other week about 4 Rooms, he turned 83.
Okay.
Cher turned 79. And Bronson Picho turned 66.
My man, happy
There
birthday.
it is.
Oh, yeah.
Do the happy dance.
Yeah, do the happy dance.
Yes, sir.
Do the pee-pee dance. What are you doing?
Cher, you said Cher turned 79.
Yeah.
She doesn't look a day over 105.
No.
Oh,
Perfect. Perfect.
Hey,
Love
if
Cher.
only she could turn back time.
I knew that was coming, but I still like it. I saw that missile all the way down the eye.
I mean, he lobbed it. He lobbed it. We got some new trailers out. We got the new Superman trailer came out.
Looks good.
The new Jurassic World Rebirth trailer came out.
Looks scary.
And Welcome to Derry.
Afterbirth. That's what she's Jurassic World Afterbirth. There you go.
That's the next one. That's the next one.
Oh man. Like we couldn't give it like a little bit of a break. How many islands are how many islands are there? Let's be real. It's starting to become more fantastical because of all the islands they have.
I thought the
They
one guy
spared
in
no
the trailer,
expense.
I think the guy in the trailer called the guy Dr. Loomis.
And what does it matter if we're on an island? Aren't
Are we
all
getting
the
we get a
dinosaurs
Halloween
everywhere?
tie-in?
Maybe.
So stupid.
There's
So
islands
tired.
everywhere, just full of Mike Myers's.
Yeah,
It'd be a better movie.
And like figuring out ways to get them on the island. Like, I don't know. I think that series ran its course a long time ago.
So they bring Dr. Loomis. They bring Dr. Loomis to the island, and there's a serial killer dinosaur. Is that what's going on?
Yes.
This is
believe so.
getting crazy. I think I'd watch that because it just sounds fucking insane.
It sounds like something I watch on a regular basis.
But why couldn't we like it's not even supposed to be dinosaurs anymore. It's supposed to be just mutated monsters from all the testing and such on this one island, the most dangerous of the most dangerous. What happened to just having fun, not doing a franchise? This could have been its own movie. You could have made a movie called Monster Island where Scarlett Johansson and company go and they just are trying to get something off of this island where there's monsters. We did it for 70 years with Godzilla. Why can't here in America we do it with something just brand new out of the blue? No, we have to have a rebirth.
Yeah, 'cause
5
there's
years after the last one.
There was another dinosaur movie coming out. What was that shit called? Like Primitive Wars or something like that? And they could have just been like another one like that.
Primal Rage.
No.
Great game.
It was a great game. Shitty movie. But anyway, we got Toy Story 5 in the works, picking up Conan O'Brien to do the voice of Smarty Pants.
I saw that. It's interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen. I might have seen the second Toy Story, but I don't remember seeing the other one.
Second Toy Story is like the one I've seen the most.
Really?
It was like when I worked at Suncoast Video, like it was, and it had come out on tape, like literally freaking tape. It was like one of the we had daytime and nighttime movies, and the daytime movies, that was like one of the determined like we could show when it first came out, and like every Saturday morning for like 6 months, Toy Story 2, and I just sat and watched it because there's nothing to do in the mall at 9 a.m. except walkers. So Toy Story 2, good one.
No doubt.
Do you think that the toy with Richard Pryor is a prequel to Toy Story?
I think that's how they began the testing.
No. Okay.
Sentient boys.
Fair enough.
That's a fucking movie. Then we got the Super Mario Brothers sequel coming out called Super Mario World. I guess apparently it's going to be more based on Luigi, Charlie Day's character.
Hey.
Also, last bit of news stills came out for the Amazon show Madden, starring Nicolas Cage as John Madden and Christian Bale as Al Davis. And that shit looks fucking wild.
You kind of look like Nick Cage as John Madden right now. Just the darker hair.
I like it. You do. Do it.
This is the Halloween get up.
You gotta talk like this though. You gotta have your hands like this the whole time.
I need a fucking marker so I can just draw a bunch of squiggles all over the screen.
Get a turducken.
You ran up 2 this way, fucking button hooked me and got the turkey leg. But anyway, that's the end of the news. Not a whole lot going on, but it's fun. I think my batteries just died in my mouse. There we go.
Wait, you could start with a mouse?
We'll take a week off.
What's that noise? I hear some noise. Do you hear noise? Like a mic?
I don't hear any noise.
Yeah, I'll mute. Tell me if it's me.
Maybe. I don't hear it now.
Guess it wasn't me. Haha, sure, Mike, for the win. It's not canceling out anything. Bastard.
Cancelled.
Look.
Fooled you.
You hear that? I don't know. I'm tripping.
You are tripping. All right, gents. Let's dive in to the
That was it?
1992 My Cousin Vinny, released March 13th.
Hey, I'm all in. I love this movie. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. It's still shown in law schools.
That's why, like, as soon as I saw your comment, I was like, shit. And then we didn't do it. So then I never did text you. And then during the week, I was like, well, I'll text him tomorrow. And then 3 days later, I was like, oh, shit. I need to text Mick.
Yeah, I'm all down. I love it. I like it, dude. First of all, Joe Pesci, Jersey royalty. So I'm all for it. Tell me this isn't probably his best role. And I mean, that's saying something because he's had some amazing roles.
I mean, he just got done doing good.
You don't think he shines the most in this role than any other one?
The Super.
Like, he is the side role in every other movie he's in.
Yeah, I was going to say, was this his first like starring role?
I don't think it's his first starring. I'd have to look at it
again.
Just
a side character.
But it was like
he always
Goodfellas, Casino.
He always works off somebody.
Home Alone. He's not the main character in any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he works off somebody in every.
True, but less so in this. He carried this movie, and that's what I sort of mean. Like,
some would disagree.
Fair. Who do you think?
Well, I mean, based on the Academy thinks Marissa Tomei might be the one carrying a lot of
things. Don't bring that Academy talk here, because I've seen what they make win. All right, Forrest Gump beat Pulp Fiction. Argument
she got
over.
Best Actress. All right, Best Supporting Actress.
I love Marissa Tomei. She deserves it. But if we're going to talk about the caliber of acting in this movie, remember Ralph Macchio's in it.
It's true.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Fred Gwynn kills me in this movie.
He's so good. It's the right. I mean, first of all, it's just fantastic characterization at work in this movie. But I mean, Jonathan Lynn directed Clue too, so I mean that's
true.
He knows his stuff.
Whole 9,
he's
whole 9 yards.
Did he do the whole 9 yards? Yeah.
One's on the Run.
Greedy is one of my favorites. Not like this, but like I love Greedy for some reason. Kirk Douglas, so funny. 3 Men and a Little Lady. Not the first one, but whatever. Man, he did direct a lot of stuff.
Yep. Written by Dale Launer, wrote Ruthless People, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
This was a very much a product of his time. 1992, man. You had the honky tonk music, which was not showing up in movies until late 1989 through 1995.
Yeah.
Seemed like every time you were in the South, honky tonk music played. You were playing it right before we started.
Yep.
I'm going to get totally off topic here, though. Are you wearing a Show Enough shirt?
Yes, I am.
All right. Who's the man?
Well,
you're all right with us.
Anyway. This movie was like, I mean, it's 2 hours long, but it seems way shorter than that. Like, this shit plays out like, you're just like, fuck, that was 2 hours long. That's what I was telling Dave when we were watching, because he's like, I think I've seen this movie once before. And I was like, do you watch movies?
I work in a shitty video store.
Oh, I love this movie.
But it's a good one. I mean, the budget was $11 million and it made $64 million in the box office. So apparently it had a pretty positive.
Yeah, it was really popular when it came out, like you said, because especially after Marissa Tomei won that Oscar. You know, she was the talk of the town there for a while. Still is. You know, I won't complain about watching her for 2 hours.
It might be the most controversial supporting role award ever. Because they're always saying that Jack Palance just read the wrong fucking thing.
Palance.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Jack Palance.
I want to see this hot little number. So I'm just going to say her name. Who else was nominated that year?
She was.
I don't remember.
Don't know.
You never remember the losers.
Fair. She won in 93 for it, and that was... Oh, she was up against Judy Davis for Husband and Wives. Joan Plowright for Enchanted April. Vanessa Redgrave for Howard's End, and Miranda Richardson for Damage. All movies nobody gives a shit about. And we're here talking about this one.
Exactly.
Deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, that monologue alone got her the Oscar.
Dude, that shit's she's so good in this. Her accent in this fucking is great.
Brooklyn.
Oh my God. Gotta love a good Jersey accent on a female.
Oh, yeah.
How's your Chinese food?
You keep asking about Chinese restaurants. They don't have any.
I love it.
Now, this movie's just, I mean, I don't know. Like, you don't really know what to expect. And then they go into that store and fucking go shopping around. And then the guy tries to jip him on the fucking slushie. He's like, can you fill this up? And they were the good slushies, too. The little slush puppies back in the day.
The slush puppies, man. I used to have them at freaking lunch at school all the time. Hit me with that orange slush puppy all day long.
So fucking good. Fuck that.
The one time we ever had those, they were at the movie theater. I had the red and the blue at the movie theater.
I still have them here at ours.
Nice.
We just never get them. Right. But we have a shitty theater.
Get them.
We watch shitty movies.
Sack of Suds.
Yeah. And he fucking goes in there and accidentally takes the can of tuna. And then I was watching some other fucking interviews with Ralph Macchio, and he was saying that you wouldn't believe the number of cans of tuna I've signed over the years.
I believe it.
I was like, if I ever see this fool again, I'm gonna have to fucking drop the $80 and have him sign a can of tuna.
Like, I wonder what he would like if I ever meet him. I want to ask, like, what would you prefer to have signed? A can of tuna, a guitar, or I'm guessing like a bonsai tree or some shit. Like something like that, like, maybe a black belt that he didn't earn. It was stolen. I remember that movie.
Yep.
Yep. But no, like, he has to have signed all of that stuff before.
Yeah, I'm sure he signed so much fucking Karate Kid shit. Like, I always thought about getting him to sign. Just like I always try to find something random, but I never thought about a can of tuna before. Surprisingly, because I like having people sign random shit.
Shower curtain.
That'd be fucked up.
That'd be funny.
Just go take a shower curtain to him. Sign this. Why?
You know why.
Yeah, he wouldn't know why. Like a big old yellow car. Have him sign it. Can wax.
There you go.
No, but this movie, I never really knew of the guy, his buddy in the movie, Stan Mitchell Whitfield. I never really seen him in anything else that I remember. Like, he don't stand out, but there's definitely a lot of familiar faces in this movie.
Mostly a voice actor, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Transformers, Ninja Turtles.
Okay. They said Stein. It's Steen.
Rothenstein.
I do remember him. Yeah,
I would always remember them just going to a store. The next thing you know, they're getting pulled over, but it's fucking such a ruthless pullover. Like, he just like fucking pulls a shotgun out and he's like, "Put your hands on your head, above your head, and get out of the car." And they're like, "What the fuck? Like, all this for a can of tuna?"
Yeah, well, they're like, we're in Alabama, man. The punishments here are They're fucking medieval about. Then they pull out the shotgun.
Yeah, Stan's
Get out of the car.
Yeah, Stan's fucking with him, and then all of a sudden it becomes real. The shit is real.
Right.
And wait a minute. The thing that threw me off was, okay, they get pulled over. How fast did all this happen? Like, how did they have time to find the clerk dead and then talk to the people and then track down the car? Like, shouldn't they have been like 2 states away?
Not necessarily. I mean, it could have moved fast. I mean, the second the shots go off, somebody's going to call. There are witnesses. They're not going to get statements until after they're arrested. It's going to be a manhunt first, so they're going to put the bolo out. So some police department is going to be looking for this, green car, which is what the witnesses are calling for. So I mean, they could theoretically catch them in under an hour.
And then the whole act of the other guys showing up and actually killing the clerk has to happen. So,
well, they said they said in the movie that it was like, could it have happened within this 15-minute range? And then that's how they prove it through the case that it did happen
right.
through the,
They had to like pull in right as soon as they were pulling out.
They did.
Right.
It was like within that 15 minutes, they pulled in right after they pulled out. So is it a weird coincidence? Yes. The 4 of us could argue all day long that it's a weird coincidence.
It's like
but in the movie, they actually take the steps to say that this is what happened and why. Like, this is a perfectly written law story, because they do have to. He does go through and doubt every one of their claims, and then go through, and then like his whole claim is based on that. But if there wasn't another car to come in there, this whole scenario, if this didn't happen, they didn't come in there within that 15 minutes, her entire story or her entire monologue means nothing, because it had to happen within that time because they needed to peel out.
right.
The cops were pressuring them once they killed. So like, yeah, they got away, but 45 minutes or so, you're looking for, 2 cars that are similar, and the cops don't know that, between the axles and such, like she explains. But
I just want to know which way
you
the
would have
other
caught both, though.
turned off to.
Although if they did intentionally kill the clerk, as we know they did, they're most likely, and they're the types to do it. These kids are just driving, so they're leisurely driving north,
right.
just trying to get out of Alabama. They're not thinking they didn't even know they took the can of tuna.
Right.
So by that time, these other criminals and murderers could have planned to get out of there or take back roads or something to get away from the police even quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing, once they get back to the police station.
I think they would have been out of the state.
Well, it depends on where they were. States are pretty big. Like if I'm leaving to go to New York from Virginia somewhere, it depends on where in Virginia it will take me to get out of the state towards New York. Like, again, they weren't speeding away. They were just driving. So that it was easier to even find them, because it's not like they're trying to hide or evade anybody. Whereas the other murderers probably are.
I guess if they're like deep in like the middle of Alabama, it's going to be a little longer before you get out of there. But I always liked whenever they get him back to the police station and they're doing the confession with the tuna. And then he's like Machio's breaking down like what happened. They're like, yeah, so you paid for the groceries. Yeah. It's like, then what happened? We went out to the car. Then what happened? He's like, we drove away. He's like, and that's, well, he's like, and then that's whenever I found the tuna in my pocket. He's like, well, when did you shoot the clerk? And he's like, I shot the clerk? He's like, I shot the clerk? And then he fucking goes out and talks to Stan. And he's like, you know what we're being charged with? He's like, yeah, they're fucking with us for stealing a can of tuna. He's like, no, I'm being charged with murder, and you're being charged with what the fuck?
Accessory to murder.
Yeah, accessory to murder. And then he's just like walking out, and he's like, what the fuck? And he calls his mom, and they're like, yeah, these hillbillies are fucking.
It's like, we can hear you.
His mouth had to have gotten him in more trouble than could have thought of.
It's like, they sleep with their cousins down here, Mom.
They're all just looking at him.
Awesome. That whole fucking segment pretty cracks me up. What? Oh. That whole
Nothing.
shit cracks me the
I'm
fuck
about
up.
to
He's
fucking
talking to
smash
his
his
mother.
computer.
Yarrow. And then he's like, we need to find a lawyer. And she's like, oh, there's one in the family. So then he fucking breaks out Vinny. And then you see them come into town looking all fucking crazy in his bright ass convertible. All dressed in like leather and shit. Talking about the car being all fucked up. And the guy's like, it's mud in the tires. He's like, I haven't heard about that. And he's like, you haven't heard about that shit? And then he's like saying how she's a fucking like car expert. And then he just starts fucking laughing and she just gives him that look like, fuck you, dickhead.
They're so good together. Like everything about this movie is well calculated and written perfectly.
I agree.
Like, I can't argue with, like, you can argue a lot of things. You could say their accents are hokey. You could say a lot of things because it can be silly at times. But I think even that silliness just adds to what these characters, who these quirky characters are around this very real story that's like very grounded. You know, there's no, like, we watch lots of law movies, comedies, dramas, whatever, right? How many times is everything tied up into a neat little bow, or some they find like another witness somewhere that can lock it all up and stuff like that. This, he actually has to do the work. He has to do the questioning. He has to create the doubt. And the moment he does, we do get our satisfying ending and that they were framed. But like, he works it all. He wins this case outright in a great way. And I love that. And I love that they give him his credit afterwards too.
Yeah, that shit's so good. Like the whole wrap up scene. And then it's funny because Dale Launer said whenever he got the idea to write this is because he was talking to this guy and he just failed the bar, and he was like, well, how many times are you going to take it? And he's like, well, and pretty much until I pass. And he's like, well, what's the most anybody's taken? And he said 13 times. So he was like, imagine having that lawyer as your lawyer. So he just started fucking writing away, and he was like, we gotta flip this into a movie somehow.
Yeah.
And then I guess he was I think he went to Cambridge Law, so he knew how the fucking process went. So it was kind of easier for him to write. That's why it all seems like a rather legit court case, aside from some of the goofy shit that happens for the comedic relief.
They do. They teach this in trial law. They teach.
Yeah, they said they still show this movie.
Yeah.
In law school. I was like, that's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah. But
I always like when Vinny first gets to the prison and he walks into that jail cell, and then fucking Ralph Macchio Billy, he's sleeping up in the bunk, and then Stan's sitting there and he's like, oh, I'll just take care of you first.
It's this classic misunderstanding that reminded me of Three's Company back in the day.
Like, it's so fucking good. Because fucking Stan thinks Pesci's there to, like,
have his way with him.
Yeah, like, take him to town. But he doesn't realize he's the lawyer, because he doesn't know who the fuck Vinny is. I mean, why they would bring in some random dude dressed in leather to fucking clown these two new guys in the fucking jail cell. But
doesn't he call Ralph Macchio as he's Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah.
And pats him on the butt.
That whole misunderstanding is so fucking good. And he's like, why has it got to be you? He's like, better me than them. He's like, one way or another, you're getting fucked down here.
It's like, you should be on your knees thanking me.
Like, I didn't come all the way down here to get jerked off.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not jerking anybody off.
He's
like, all right, you're on your own. I'll get Sleeping Beauty over here. And then he fucking smacks Macchio on the ass and then throws him back up. And he wakes up and he's like, oh, Vinny bag of donuts. That whole fucking thing cracks me up.
It's such a great movie.
That was one of my favorite parts, actually.
We were talking about the Pesci whenever he walks into the jail cell and he has the conversation with Stan.
Oh, it's either me or them. You're getting fucked one way or the other.
That shit's so fucking great.
It's your ass, not mine. I think you should be down on your fucking knees.
It's like the greatest misunderstanding ever.
I didn't come down here to get jerked off.
I'm not jerking you off.
I don't want to do this. Well, I don't blame you. Oh, we could just do that whole scene. We pretty much
For
have.
sure.
Oh my
That's
god.
hilarious.
Good one. Such a
Comedy
good-
gold.
So
But
good.
I heard a lot of those scenes were actually filmed in the Georgia State Pen.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
actually
wow.
they didn't have it too bad, you know, in the jail, because like they're together and they don't like there's no interaction with any other inmates really. Even later on when they're out in the yard playing basketball, they're by themselves, so they didn't have it very rough there. So
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure if you get arrested for murder with somebody, they're not going to throw you in the same cell as the person you committed murder with.
well, that was another thing that I wanted to talk about before my goddamn fucking internet fucked me up the ass. Was I always thought it was interesting, like Sheriff Farley, who Bruce McGill, fucking everybody knows him, D-Day, Animal House, and everything. The first thing I remember seeing Bruce McGill in was MacGyver.
Yep.
He was Jack Dalton in MacGyver. The fucking
with his hat and his leather jacket.
Yep, that's the first time I ever saw Bruce McGill. So that's what I knew him from initially. But no, like he's so they believe that these guys committed murder, and he just has him casually in his office, not handcuffed, anything. They take Stan into like a evidence closet or something, and they're interrogating him in there, and he's not handcuffed until after the fact. So it's like they were very lackadaisical about like bringing these murderers in, alleged murderers, mind you, and whatever. But
Whatever. See, I always knew him from Time Cop.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he was in Time Cop.
The Last Boy Scout.
Yeah, he plays the guy cheating.
Yeah.
Bruce McGill's been around forever, man.
Dick in your dick.
He's dude. If you've seen a movie, you've seen Bruce McGill in a movie.
Yeah.
All right. Law-abiding citizen. There's a good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's good.
Yeah,
Like
he's
the
a
amateur
fucking
which
dope
tries
actor.
to copy it.
He's such a good actor, though.
For sure.
It's funny too. Like whenever you first see Pesci meeting the judge, and he's just fucking chilling in there with his fucking feet up on the desk, and he kind of just sneaks in behind him, and then you're like, oh, all right, cool, Fred Gwynn. And then he fucking he's like, you're what do you say, a little informal, aren't you, with the no shirt, jacket, or tie? He's like, oh yeah, this is yeah. Then they start kind of like going down memory lane. Fucking Pesci just starts lying to him out of his mouth.
For about 6
Jerry Gallo. I'm Jerry.
16 years.
You ever hear the Son of Sam?
You defended him? No, I defended the first guy they arrested.
But he was found not innocent, and they found the other guy.
Yeah.
God, it's so good. It's such a fun movie all the way through, and it's all like the time crunch, everything. Like they'll be back by 3 p.m. So you either you have a stay of execution, so you either win this case or you're going to jail. And that whole thing, it was just fantastically done. It's so fun. This is just a really fun movie.
Does it all take place about 5 days? I guess.
Yeah, probably, roughly. I mean, you could count them out.
A weekish, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely count out by the nights. Because all right, so he was they stayed at the cabin. He was in jail one night. They had the pigs one night. The train one night.
Listen,
train 2 nights.
The train was 2 nights.
It was, and then the mill. At the first,
the steam whistle or whatever it was.
Yeah, so that's 5 right. That's 5 nights right there. So that they're probably there about a week or so.
Yeah, because the first night they go in there and they fucking hear the steam whistle when they go walking downstairs. He's like, "What the fuck was that?"
That steam whistle scares the shit out of him.
Oh, it's so loud, it scared the shit out of me.
When he asks the guy, he's like, "Does that train come through here every morning at 6 a.m.?" He's like, "No."
That's very peculiar.
It's pretty weird time. It's like it's usually 4:10 on the time. He's
He's like, "Yeah, it is weird. It's usually 4:10." Like, what the fuck? I like how they go into the diner or whatever, and they're like looking at the menu, and they're like, "So, breakfast."
Breakfast sounds good. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it.
I like how he finds out about grits.
Yeah,
and then uses it in his case.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah, they set up a lot in the first act.
20 minutes.
It's a good script, man. I will say that because they
100%.
They pretty much set up everything in that whole first act, but you don't realize it until the end.
Right.
Even even the grits.
I've heard of a grit. I've never actually seen one. And it's so funny because she's egging him on. She's like, "Yeah, go ahead, try it." And then taking a picture of him and shit.
He's just so weird.
Snapping everything. God,
then you fucking whenever he gets to court though, and he just kind of walks in and just jumps up and sits on the table, and then Lane Smith, Jim Trotter III, comes walking in, and he's like, "Where's your lawyer?" And he's like, "I am the lawyer." He's like, "Oh."
Also,
Lane Smith, man.
He was Perry White in
the show, right?
And Lois and Clark. Great Caesar's Ghost.
Yeah, I was thinking the son-in-law.
Son-in-law, one of Chuck's favorites.
Yeah.
Red Dawn. He's the one coach in the Mighty Ducks.
Yep. Of the Falcons or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then he coached fucking Emilio or whatever whenever he was a kid or some shit.
Emilio.
They were so good though. Back then, like you had guys like Bruce McGill or Lane who were these character actors who came in, and honestly, like a lot of times you take a lot of these actors, men and women who did this character work back then, especially, and they grounded the movie for you. When you saw them in a movie, you were like, oh, okay, I feel this is going to be pretty good. I think, you know, like sometimes those character actors are the best to judge off of.
Like, I think everybody pretty much plays off of each other really well. Like, I mean, because in that scene right there, like, they're there for the hearing, basically, just to kind of figure out what they're pleading.
The arraignment.
Yeah, and then Gwen and Pesci are sitting there talking the whole time, and he's like, "So are they guilty or not guilty?" He's like, "My clients didn't understand. Like, they thought they were being arrested for some tuna."
It turns into this whole thing.
And then he ends up holding them in contempt.
When he goes to jail and he finally sleeps.
I think
first day.
I think I get the point.
I don't think you do.
I think you do.
I always thought it was funny because like Trotter comes in and he's talking and Vinny just starts mimicking everything that Trotter's doing. So he like pulls out the briefcase and puts out the notepad and starts jotting down notes and everything. So he just keeps mimicking Trotter's actions and because he has no clue what he's doing.
Yeah, because he even says it's like he's never been to trial before.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're in some serious shit right now. But then so then he says like he's trying to get more money or whatever, and then his girl Mona Lisa Vito she's like, "Well, I got stiffed. I was trying to hustle the money and then I got stiffed." And he's like, "Fuck, what do you mean you get stiffed?" So then they go back to the bar and he's talking to this fucking guy after you see that fucking one dude sitting on the bar stool, fucking straight up throws a whole chicken leg in his mouth.
Leg, yeah.
Fucking sucks it off the bone, and you're like, what the fuck? This shit just got weird. You're in deliverance country. But that whole fucking scene with them two are pretty funny. He's like, let me see. Do I want to get my ass kicked or do I want to take $200? He's like, no, I'll just collect the $200.
Yeah, JT played by Chris Ellis.
And then, well, it's funny because the other guy's in there with like, he's all banged up and he's like, accident? And he's like, I fell. He's like, you're home? He's like, no. Or yeah. And he's like, shit.
Yeah.
Trying to get more cases while he's there.
Yeah. Drumming up business.
That whole fucking scene cracks me up.
Oh, a counteroffer. That's what I'm a lawyer. That's what we lawyers call a counteroffer.
He's like, I'm going to make a counteroffer. It's like, how about I don't kill you, but I just beat the ever-loving shit out of you? Do I still get the $200?
Get my ass kicked or collect $200? I think I'll take the $200.
Shit's so fucking good. And then like the next day when Pesci goes back to court and fucking Gwen tells him before, he's like, because he comes in there wearing that leather outfit. He's like, I need a shirt, tie, and some kind of jacket made out of cloth. And he comes in and he's not dressed again. And he's like, what'd I tell you about the dress code? And he's like, you were serious about that?
You were serious about that?
It's like contempt. Back to jail. That would suck so bad.
But he's so happy when he's going back to jail. He's like, no, I'm thinking get a good night's sleep. Come out and get me tomorrow or whatever. He's just like, I'm doing good, huh? He's so proud of himself. I love it.
And it's funny how the scene with JT doesn't get resolved that night.
No,
it's like a recurring thing.
Yeah, they break it. There's so many different scenes like that where it's like, okay, we introduce it and then follow up and keep going, and it's like just like with the JT, and then with every night they're staying somewhere. There's something going on, like we said, with the whistles and the pigs and the fucking. He even whenever he goes to jail, he thinks he's gonna get a night of sleep, and there's like a riot going on.
But he looks like he's sleeping well though, because he's got this smile on his face, like this is better than some shitty whistle.
Yeah, I was expecting him to open his eyes.
Just be angry.
But, yeah, and be angry, but then he just smiles and it faded
black.
Yeah. He was all in for that one. He's like, fine, no more trains or pigs or anything else.
Yeah, just all the reoccurring themes are fucking great throughout this movie.
Yep.
Like, it's so fucking good.
For sure.
And then one of so whenever Stan decides to go with another attorney.
God. Another great actor. I can't think of his name at the moment, but he's another great one.
Austin
Pendleton.
He's in Mr. Nanny.
He's in the Short Circuit.
Was he?
Yeah. And the Muppet movie.
Oh yeah,
so much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his whole scene's great because you think he's going to be a good lawyer. And then whenever they come out to do the opening arguments, and then you realize he's not a public speaker.
He gets nervous, all right? Don't give this guy a hard time.
Those scenes were so fucking funny.
I know. I was sad when they fired him. I was like, no.
Stan was like, I want it. I want to get off too.
But I mean, every time I watch that scene, I fucking crack up laughing because I'm like, I can just picture just being like, just the reaction of some of the jurors whenever he's like spitting on people, and the one guy's just sitting there like this.
Well, he said years later that he regretted that scene or even taking that role.
I don't know why.
Because he got like threats and like complaints from like people that actually had legitimate stutters, and I think Jonathan Lynn even said if they went back and redid it like in a modern time that they wouldn't put that scene in, that it was too insensitive to certain people.
I mean, I guess I could see that, but it was still funny.
But they're not. It's not like they're picking on him for his stutter. It's because he's nervous. It's not like he stutters all the time, and we're like, oh, we're making fun of you. It's he got nervous and he stuttered, where he's supposed to be this professional lawyer that's going to be, very well spoken.
But
that's the funny.
Funny if there was a lawyer that got nervous at public speaking.
Yeah, if he was just if he was just a lawyer that stuttered all the time and like Vinny made fun of him, that would be insensitive. That would be cruel,
right?
But that's not you don't get the comedy if you hate on that.
I don't think it's just about the comedy too. It's a beautiful plot device to show you who exactly Vinny is and just like why his brand. Because I'm sure this other guy could be a really good lawyer. He's just not a litigator.
Right.
Like you said with the nervousness and such. Now you can play anything out you want for that. Like that's not one that I ever look at and I'm like, oh, even when I was young, I wasn't looking at it, I was like, they're making fun of people with stutters. That's messed up. No. I always looked at it as like, this is the perfect antithesis to who Vinny is, who cannot shut up and who can, to his own detriment and many times, but like gets the job done. He understands it. This guy supposed to be that fancy lawyer and can't get a word out edgewise. This other guy who's supposed to be everybody looking as stupid is the smartest guy in the room most cases. Right. And I thought that was a good, I'm sorry that they feel they couldn't handle that or if they had to reinvent it in some way. But personally, I thought that drove the point of this whole thing home.
I mean, my dad had a stutter and he still thought this scene was fucking hilarious.
Because if you don't get to the point where Stan goes, I want him, the audience isn't saying, I'm with Vinny now. Vinny can win this.
Right.
And so you take that out of there, and you're real missing the point. Like, there's insensitivity, and I'm not taking anything away from people with stutter, stuff like that, or anybody who has a public speaking fears. But, the insensitivity side of it is, like, is it good for the story, though? Does this work? Like, there's just to kind of compare it, like a little bit of a parallel that I tend to argue with people a lot. Like, when you go to Sleepaway Camp, is that movie an insensitive movie? Sure. In many, many respects, it's an insensitive movie. But I don't think the overarching storyline of who Angela is the insensitive part, because that is the trauma. That's the crux of why this person's doing everything they are doing and what they're capable of, is the fact that we don't know what's going on. But when that reveal turns around, it's not a reveal on any one notion or persons or peoples or anything like that. It's just this was a traumatic event. And in that moment, this is what that aunt did to this young man, Right. And now I take it back to here. Like, most people miss those points in such a big way just because they get offended. And it's like, you need this. This drives the character's point home. And I feel like we've sacrificed a lot in the name of that over the years. Yeah. Good storytelling versus who can we not offend? Mm-hmm. Star Wars.
That's just kind of where we live at now.
Especially with comedy. Comedy's taking it the worst, probably.
I think the comedy portion of it's sort of a cop-out versus, like, you can't say anything funny anymore. You can say lots of things funny. In fact, I'd hard argue that somebody like Howard Stern was way more impressive and entertaining before he got to serious, where he could say and do whatever he wanted. You're being creative, and that's why, like, avenues like this, it's like you used your creativity. Yeah, I'm not saying that it was the perfect scientifically logical sound reasoning for it, but it works within the framework of what you're building within this world, and that works here. And there's lots of movies where they do that. But now when they disjoint movies like this and they leave stuff out where it's like, well, that could offend this person, it's like, but does it tell the story? Does it drive the point of who this character is? Where are we going with this? You could be offended when you watch the movie Sleepers and be like, well, they look what Kevin Bacon did to these kids. But if he didn't do it, you don't get to the second half of that movie.
Such a good movie.
But we can be offended by everything, but, like, tell a good goddamn story for once.
Yeah.
Or like you used to, anyway.
Yeah. It's all about the intent, There's times where you use stuff and it's malicious, and there's times where it is what it is. And people blur the lines so much now, everybody's walking on eggshells, and it's, I don't know.
Well, I think the intent needs to be implied that this is driving the story. Now, when you get to, like, a movie that's blatantly throwing out jokes or throwing out, like, what can be construed as offensive in certain ways, but, like, and it's very blatant. I'm trying to think of, like, movies that do it. There's plenty of them, but we were just talking about one. One of the newer ones that just came out. I can't remember it, though. That's how good it was. But, when you do it blatantly, that's terrible writing.
Yeah, lazy booking.
This is, and yes, incredibly lazy, and it's disgusting in most cases. But then, like, you get to this, and it's like, well, this is still offensive. It's like, no, it's fucking not. No, it's not. It's just a part of the story. And once you can get past that, maybe we can get back to telling good stories.
Yeah.
Without wizards, because fucking magic, man. I'll always have a problem with magic as a writer.
Not a Harry Potter fan?
Harry Potter's fine. It is. But if you can do anything, then nothing's off the table. Right. And that's lazy. It's just like,
I hate that.
Lazy.
I hate it. That's where my beef with American Horror Story began, where it's like, if there's no consequences, if people can die and they come back as ghosts or they come back in some other way and there's no real consequence or ultimate end, if this person's going to die, it has no meaning anymore because they can just come back as whatever the fuck. And it's like, no, I don't want that. Just have some finality to this.
Yeah. It's now in the first season, and something like that is great because they're stuck to the house.
Yes.
And now that's your consequence. You were forever stuck here with the rest of these ghosts. And I like that aspect, but you're right. In later season, it's just like, I want to bring back characters and I don't really want to have much of a reason I'm doing it.
Right.
It's so just, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it should fell off.
But it's a lot of writing like that now. You see that in Marvel does it. Like it's what's the less offensive way to take, and then you're writing yourself in sort of circles because now you're like, what do I do here? What's a natural progression to get out of this? We don't have one. Tesseract, Infinity Gauntlet, like,
yeah,
great, but like too much power takes too much away from your characters. So, I took you on a tangent. Sorry.
Well, that's all right.
You need it. I mean, it's definitely true with the way things have been watered down over the years.
Do you hear a faucet dripping?
Were you the last one in the bathroom?
Yeah. Must be broken.
I guess the fucking thing's broken.
That little fucking thing she goes off on whenever he tells her he's going hunting. And then
that's another good one.
Shoot Bambi.
Do you think these pants are good?
Oh.
He comes running back out.
Imagine you're a cute little deer. You put your little deer lips down to the cool water to take a drink. Bam! A fucking bullet rips off part of your head. Your brains are laying on the ground in little bloody pieces. Now tell me, would you give a fuck what type of pants the son of a bitch that Chachi was wearing? She's so great, man. She's amazing. And the chemistry with her and Vinny is so good. You know, it's like if you know anything about people from New York, you know, they nail it spot on because they got that attitude to where it's like you go to New York and people are going to yell at you, people are going to argue with you sometimes, and that's just how they are. You know, that's the New York way, and it's not like they're mad or anything like that. That's just how they communicate, and these guys just nail it. The chemistry, everything, and it's like Joe Pesci is like 49 at this point, and I think Tomei was like 20 years younger, like 28 or 29 at this point. So, you know, it makes you, you know, a lot of times people are like, well, what the fuck is Marissa Tomei, this young, beautiful woman, doing with a character like Vinny, who's fucking like twice her age and a fucking old ass man or whatever. And it's like, you know, you can ignore all that because the chemistry and the way they work together is just so spot on, and it just plays out so well, not only as a couple but as a comedic duo.
Agreed. Fully. They were great together. And it would make sense that like this, he's not a made man, but he is a guy from the neighborhood. He is well known. He's gonna have a younger girlfriend.
Right. Working in the dad's auto shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, just lines of mechanics.
My father was a mechanic. His father was a mechanic.
My two brothers are mechanics.
Oh God, it was so good. God, everything about that monologue was fantastic. No, prosecution is wrong. And I love his face. Really? Like you figured it out and shared it with no one. Oh, I love it. Like, but I mean, it does work within the frame again because everyone there is putting on a show for this case. We got you. It's over. So he finally realizes he's finally up on him. He finally has the answer, and he needs to make a show of it too. And he knows she's going to put on the best show.
Yeah, the whole thing. Whenever he's interviewing the witnesses or whatever, or questioning the witnesses, like that little segment's pretty good too, because he's fucking talking to the one dude, Sam Tipton, and asking him about how long it takes him to cook grits.
Yeah,
and just schooling him on that. And then he starts talking to the other guy about how dirty his windows are and shit. And he's like, "What do you call that right there?" And he's like, "A tree?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a tree.
That's a tree.
Like, what are these things on the tree? Just shout them out whenever you know." And
what are all these things? These hundreds, these little things. Leaves. Yeah, go ahead. Shout out when you figure it out. And all these things around here. Bushes. Yeah. And how many bushes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
Wait. Don't forget about this one and this one. 7.
Yep.
7 bushes.
But I like when he goes 7, he goes 7. So proud of himself for getting it right.
I just love how whenever he's like, just yell them out when you know the answer, and then the fucking bailiff's over there laughing.
And that guy's rain or shine. We talked about a couple times. Ace Ventura? He's the fucking computer guy. He was the guy in Living Color whenever they were doing the skit, the Elvis skit.
Yeah.
So many actors in this movie are like, I've seen him in like a million things, but I can probably only name 1 or 2.
Yeah, like even like the old lady with the glasses. Whenever he's like, "Those are pretty thick." He's like, "How long you been wearing glasses?" She's like, "Since I've been 6."
6.
And then he fucking walks back and he's holding up 2 fingers, and then fucking the judge is like, "Let it be known that he's holding up 2 fingers," and he's like, "Thanks, Judge."
Now, Mrs. Riley, and only Mrs. Riley. How many fingers am I holding up?
4.
He gives him such a look too.
Oh, my.
Amazing.
I don't want to see the next level of thickness she has to go to. Them things were thick. She has to need something twice as bad for that.
Oh, I love it.
We jumped ahead. We jumped ahead though. I like in the opening remarks where Trotter's there and he starts talking about verdict.
Oh, yeah,
He's like verdict means truth. You know, it's a word that's been come down from old England and all of our little old ancestors. And he's talking right directly to that black woman in the front row, and she's just like, like, my ancestors did not come from England, asshole.
Well, I like how he pronounced heinous. He's like heinous.
Heinous.
Like, heinous. Like you got a fucking butthole on your back.
And another one he does that I love, and I do it all the time, where he goes, identical. I love that.
I did that today, bro.
Is that the floor model?
or how about when
turbocharged? Does he say?
Yeah, hold on to floor models. But or whenever Vinny thinks they go hunting together, and he thinks he's gonna get Trotter's files, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll just have my secretary fax them over to you." And Vinny is so proud, like he did something. He's like, "Oh, I'd really like to get a look at your files," and he just says, "All right, no problem." And he comes back and he's got the big box, and she's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Trotter's files." You stole his files?
But I like how she's leading him on, because she does go like,
she knows.
It's called discovery, you moron.
Because he's trying to act like he buttered him up and like did all this stuff to get him. Like he's so suave.
Well, after the opening statements, when Vinny's like, everything he said is bullshit.
Bullshit.
Thank you.
I said is bullshit.
Everything he's speaking from the record except for thank you.
Because he's so exhausted. He's like falling asleep because he hasn't gotten any sleep in any of those nights. That night right before, whenever they're out in the cabin, and it's one of my favorite shots of the whole film. Oddly enough, it's all of a sudden they hear that screech, whatever the fuck. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" And he goes and grabs the gun, and then all of a sudden, the shot is out from the tree, and you just see Vinny come out wearing like his boxers, his leather jacket, his sneakers, and he just starts randomly shooting out into the night. and then you just see it's the little owl, the little cute little owl, and it's like he goes back in, but it's just he's just like woo, he does a little screech. So I always thought that was a great shot.
That was so funny.
I always
then
like
they get stuck in the mud.
Oh, that shit's so good.
And then use it again in the thing later.
Yep.
When she's like, anybody from Alabama knows that it gets stuck in the mud.
He's like, what was that bag?
Everybody in the jury's like, yeah, she's right. She's right.
Yeah, had your suit
so good.
Had your suit cleaned, so you had a nice clean suit when you go in there. It's like right in the mud.
Which, by the way, if something's like that's the unbelievable. If something's laying, I don't care how annoyed you are, but if there looks like a suit or something like hanging on this 2x4, who the hell rips the 2x4 out like that? Who doesn't pick up the thing and like move it and then grab the 2x4? I don't care how mad you are.
He's so frustrated at that point. He's covered in mud. He's like, "Fuck it! Why would my suit be laying in the trunk?"
I had it pressed for you.
Well, I just like how he fucking gets pissed off. He goes back to town, and then like the fucking store where the suit store says closed for the flu.
Or flu.
The
whole store.
Whole store's got the flu.
That shit's fucking great. But then whenever
so he's either wear the suit that I know you hate, or this disgusting, ridiculous thing.
Well, even before that, though, like whenever he gets all pissed off and they get back to town or whatever, he's like, I'm going to go shower. You go get the suit clean, blah, blah, blah. And then the fucking dude across the street stands up and he's like, hey, I got your $200.
Hey, Yankee boy.
At this point. So he just starts walking across the street and he like jump punches him in the face and like lands on top of him. Like, I don't know why. Like the angle he goes whenever he punches that dude in the face cracks me up.
He doesn't even punch him. He does like a flying cross body.
Yeah, but you can hear the punch side effect.
It's like it just throws his whole body at him.
It's the only time the Superman punch works.
Right. That whole scene, I don't know why that shit cracks me up. Then he walks in there and like you were saying, he's like, he walks in with this fucking like velvety plum fucking
looks like a usher at an old theater or some shit.
I said he had the Beetlejuice suit on whenever he was getting married to Lydia. Or like that movie, what was that shit, Angus or whatever, like way back. He had a plum suit. But that shit was fucking great. I was like, only if I had a fucking plum tuxedo, we'd be good to go.
I wonder how many child brides got married to that tuxedo.
It's a good tuxedo.
I don't care.
It's a good tuxedo. I think after that we end up getting the questioning from Vinny whenever he says the two Utes.
Yeah.
And then fucking Fred's like, the what? He's like, the Utes. Did you say Utes?
Yeah, two Utes.
But Pesci said he got that from Rocky Garciano. Because he watched an old interview with an old boxer, and he was like an actor named Rocky Garciano. He always said Utes instead of Use. And then Pesci said whenever he was younger, he saw him doing an interview like that, so that's where he got it from.
Did you say a Ute? What is a Ute? Oh, I'm sorry. Two youths.
The two defendants.
He gives him such a dirty look.
So mad at him in this movie.
They give each other so much shit. It's so great. Like, you can just see like all the expressions that fucking Fred gives him, and he's just kind of like all pissed off or just giving him like stupid shit.
But the beauty of it is when he finally meets Marissa Tomei's character, he falls in love with her.
Yeah,
he's like immediately like smitten with her, and they can like, you know, he's just like, yeah, so am I. You know, like, he has like a genuine smittenness with her. He's annoyed that she's with him.
Well, the thing that always, I was like, okay, so she gets called up on the stand, and they're like arguing back and forth, and he's like, "Do you two know each other?" I'm like, She's been coming in with him to the courtroom every single day. What do you mean? Do they know each other?
She's brought him out of jail 3 times.
Yeah.
That just
She's my fiance. Well, that explains the hostility.
He's like, you want to hear more? And he's like, so would I. That whole fucking segment cracks me up.
I like when he gives her the trick question and he doesn't know it's a trick question.
Right.
Oh, it's so well written, so smart.
It is. It's a fucking good movie. Like, I don't know. Like, I know it did well, but I don't know how many people actually would go back and like rewatch it though. Like, aside from
Like I said, I've never met anyone who disliked
a
it.
good movie.
That's the thing. I was thinking about this, and I was like, this is one of those films that, for whatever reason, flies under the radar for the most part. Like, you don't hear people talk about it often, but whenever you bring it up, if you, as you say, My Cousin Vinny, everybody's like, oh, I fucking love that film.
Right.
You know?
I tried to convince Sturdy to watch it today. I was like, hey, we're going to talk about My Cousin Vinny. He's like, I don't think I've seen that. I'm like, you got to see this movie. It's brilliant. It's one of my favorites. And he goes, feels like too much white for me. I was like, you're not wrong.
Takes place in Alabama, even though it was filmed in Georgia.
Right.
Like,
Everything was filmed in Georgia back then because Georgia had such great tax credits in the 90s.
yeah.
Still do.
Well, that's like,
Yeah. But while Georgia's more of a, like, back then, that was a location. Now it's like it's its own thing.
well, when
Like,
Sheriff
that's
Farley
some-
is talking, whenever he comes back in, because he sends Farley to go check out some shit or whatever, he comes back and gets questioned. And then whenever he's saying he talked to a Sheriff Tillman from Jasper County, Georgia, that's actually where they filmed the movie, and he was one of the dudes running security. So they kind of like threw a little ode to him in the movie. So they actually used
Shout out.
everything.
Little shout out to Sheriff Tillman.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Jerry Callow. Yeah, he calls him back in there. He's like, you're a dead man.
He's like, I used my stage name. Like there was a Broadway actor named
Vincent Gambini. Maybe you heard of him. No, never mind. Doesn't matter. So I had to have my name legally changed.
and that's whenever he fucking smashes the chessboard.
Jerry.
He does to block what he
that
says.
was one
Jerry
before.
Callow.
Jerry Gallo. No, Jerry Gallo's dead. I'm Jerry Callow with a C.
We're gonna get to the bottom.
Here's a plot hole for you. She called their friend, the judge, right?
Judge Malloy.
When?
Well, oh, no.
She
Whenever
never
she's
found
at-
out about
Nope.
the name.
I think it was whenever she stormed out of the diner.
Okay, yeah.
But she never heard him say until later, and she never heard him say Callow instead.
No, he I'm pretty sure that, okay, so that happens where the judge calls him back into the chambers and tells him, hey, you're a dead man.
She told him Jerry Callow. She never said, he never told her Jerry Callow because they were already like right after he says that, he goes and you see the entire diner scene where she leaves him, and he doesn't see her again until the end. Now she's on the phone, but he never mentions Jerry Callow.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
I know he said
sure
he.
he does.
I know he said that he. I know he tells her that the judge found out about Gallo, and then she's like,
'cause
"Whoa."
he goes, judge found out Gallo's dead. And she's like, well, what are you going to do? And that was when I think they were going to the diner.
No, he goes,
Yeah, they
I
were
don't
already in
know.
the
I'll
diner.
figure it
She
out.
was- She was looking at pictures or whatever, and he was all like, "Oh, a picture of me in the shower. This is going to be a fucking."
that's one of the best ones. I always loved that one whenever I was a kid, where he's like going through. He's like, "You want to help? You want to help? Okay, all right. We got. What is this here? Oh, can you take any? Can you take this any further away? What is this one? What is that? Dog shit. That's no, love this.
Yeah, honey.
Wait a minute. This is it. The case cracker. Me in the shower. I love it. That's it.
The funny part is the dog shit one is the one that saved the case.
Yep. Positive traction.
Oh,
Such a good fucking.
I mean, again, that's the only reason. That's the reason the Callow thing stands out, is because everything is tied really well together. Even the pictures, Like, it is the picture. The dog shit picture is the one that's going to win it, and it's the one that makes him think of her to be the expert witness. So they do it perfectly, but that's the one thing they don't do that I'm just like, you couldn't do one line where he's like, I don't know, I changed it to Jerry Cowell, I'll figure something out. And he doesn't do it. So she just knows her man really well. Give her another Oscar.
Very true.
Yeah.
But I said the whole wrap up is so good though, and then fucking, I like how you kind of come back to the beginning too. Whenever he's first getting interviewed by the judge, and he's like, win some, lose some, like how's your record or whatever. Then by the end, fucking he walks out, he's like, I want to shake your hand, win some or lose some.
Win some, lose some. I'm honored to shake your hand.
So good.
Just some kind of trial lawyer, boy.
I like how convenient. Okay, so they have that big fight at the diner, and she's like, "That's it, I'm leaving." She storms off, and then he goes back to the courtroom. He's trying to figure it out, and he finally figures it out. And he's like, "Oh, can I have like 5 minutes?" And he's like, "I'll give you 3." And it just so happens, as soon as he walks out, she's right there.
Right.
Like, how convenient. Like, you would think, okay, she's leaving. She's like hopped on a bus going back to New York or something. But no, she's right there.
Whenever he calls her to the stand and she tries to walk out, and it's like, has the fucking bailiff guy grab her and drag her to the stand.
Does the defense's case hold water?
No.
Would you please answer this question? No, I hate him.
Are you sure? I'm positive. How can you be so sure?
Whenever Trouter's trying to figure out the right answers, that's so fucking good. Especially whenever he looks back to the other car guy, George Wilbur.
Wilbur.
He's just like, yeah. She's right. Such a good breakdown.
Yeah. She's cute too, isn't she?
Extremely. Which is all I thought was a weird answer. Like, it's like, she's stupid hot. All right. Thanks. You don't have anything else to add to the film?
If Mr. Trotter would like to voir dire. Oh man. Such a good movie, man.
Anything
the
else
story
before we missed?
There's maybe a couple things we missed, glossed over, but I think we hit it for the most part.
Definitely watch this movie, people.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So good. Such a good movie. We tend to only do movies we like. We need to throw up some randoms that we can just do some first timers that we hate.
The story is damn near perfect. The dynamic between the characters, not only it's the dynamic between everybody, like Vinny and Lisa, Vinny and the judge, Vinny and Trotter, everybody. Yeah. The dynamic is just so good. Like everybody nails their part. And we've put over Marissa Tomei. She was so amazing in this film, but Joe Pesci, you got to give him credit to where he's like one of the best actors, because he can go from being a Nicky Santoro or a Tommy DeVito, where it's Pesci's a small guy, but he can play a role like that, and you can look at him as the most ruthless killer, and make it believable. And then he can go to being like Harry in Home Alone, or in Lethal Weapon, or this role as Vinny, doing comedy. So I think it's just a testament to Joe Pesci and his ability to, cover both ends of the spectrum and nail them perfectly.
Well, I know they said they tried to get De Niro to play Vinny at first, but then they were like, well, De Niro doesn't do comedies and they usually bomb. He don't make any money.
Well,
so then they brought Pesci in.
Well, you know who the studio wanted originally? And I saw this and I was like, ooh. I wouldn't want to change it for anything, but they said the studio originally wanted Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine that?
That would have not worked. I love Ford Fairlane, but that movie does not work because of him. He's not an actor. And like he would have stepped in and just been Andrew Dice Clay in this situation. And this is too good of a movie script wise.
Yes.
Like that would have been, you know what that would have turned into? Remember that movie Jury Duty with Pauly Shore?
Yeah.
That's what it would have been. It would have just been a shtick.
Yeah.
That movie was shit.
I'd be curious to see how Andrew Dice Clay and Marissa Tomei play off each other back in '92.
She would have never won an Oscar with him in it either.
Probably
This
would have
wouldn't
killed each
even
other.
been fathomable towards an Oscar if he was in that movie.
No.
Could have been. I don't know. It would have been a different movie. That's for sure.
It would
a lot more. Probably been a lot more F-bombs.
I'm not against Andrew Dice Clay. I like when he shows up and stuff. Again, Ford Fairlane, I'll watch that every once in a while. It's a fun movie. If you haven't done it or seen it, you should do it on the show. But in this movie, like it would have had to been a way harder comedy.
Yeah.
And it would have just lost that special sauce it has, you know?
All of a sudden, my cousin Vinny with Andrew Dice Clay, and like Vinny's in the courtroom smoking. Hey, put that cigarette out in my court. Oh, unbelievable.
What are you wearing, Mr. Gambini? Hickory dickory dock, Your Honor. Go fuck yourself. It's like, it's funny, but it's a bit.
Well, okay, so the studio wanted him for Vinny, and they wanted Lorraine Bracco for Lisa.
That'd have been weird.
Right there. That tells you. What are you going to do? First of all, Lorraine Bracco could have done good in this movie with Joe Pesci, but not what Marissa Tomei did. I think you needed a younger actor who, on her caliber, let's be real, she's a great actor. So on her caliber type of young actor just stepping up that brings that energy. Lorraine Bracco comes into this, she's going to play it straight. She's going to play it the way she plays almost everything. And then he's going to play it straight. Now you add Andrew Dice Clay in there, it's like, okay.
And on top of that,
Melfi and like Ford Fairlane together in a movie in a courtroom drama.
Well, not quite Dr. Melfi, but she's just coming off of Goodfellas. So this is almost like a younger version of her in Goodfellas. There's you can tell, Jersey or New York or whatever, but it would have been a very similar role. I don't know. It wouldn't have worked as well. I think this is perfect from start to finish.
I mean, if you threw De Niro in there, it could have been. I mean, he wasn't bad in like Analyze This or Analyze That. Like, like he could have pulled it off, but it wouldn't have been as special.
No.
He would have tried to play it too tough. Joe Pesci at least was like, all right, I'll have the laughs with it and stuff. Like when he has to jump at the guy and stuff like that because he's too short.
Yeah.
He was willing to make the joke, like especially with like Home Alone.
He definitely does a lot more comedy stuff, like that Gone Fishing movie with him and Danny Glover.
All right, not all winners, but 8 heads in a duffel bag.
He's fucking goofy.
De Niro wearing that shitty suit, sitting there. Fred Gwynn's like, "What are you wearing?" De Niro's like, "You talking to me? You talking to me?"
Very different movie. Very different.
Yeah. Oh man, such a good flick.
It is.
Yeah.
Speaking of good flicks, I wonder what the clip of the week is this week.
I just want to say, I swear to God that these guys did not know what this clip was.
Dun, dun, dun. We never do.
Well, it's random, so you should know what it is there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good. Hey, that is good. I just lost my job.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's greedy bastards like you that make the world what it is today. You just don't give a shit for anybody, do you? As long as you're doing good, that's all that matters, huh? You verstunken gun if you have the dre your mums up.
It all makes sense.
Yep, it would have been perfect.
As soon as he's reading that mic and he's like, You guys are fucking weird. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
What are the odds of that?
Yeah,
It's the random clip generator knows. It's like an AI now. It knows our thoughts and, just exploits them.
It's getting serious, man.
And it's crazy to think that like only 7 years later that Pesci would announce he's retiring from acting, and he wants to go into being a musician. And then we get that masterpiece in '98, the Vincent LaGuardia Gambiti Sings. You ever hear that?
No,
I have heard. Didn't hear the album. I've heard that exists.
Oh man, if you want some shitty, that's the link I sent you a couple weeks back, where he's I can't remember the name of the song, but he's like, it's the bitches that it gets. he's doing. Oh my god, he's doing like rap on this fucking album, and it's so bad. Oh my gosh,
that is amazing.
Yeah, just pure entertainment value, you go and check it out.
Oh, I will be listening to that, and then promptly following it up with William Shatner's album.
Lucy in the Sky.
Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. He's got a little cigarette.
Good.
Little crooner.
My biological clock is ticking like this. Oh, we forgot that one.
Oh yeah. I know we forgot a couple things. We need these folks to go out here and watch this film. That way they watch this episode.
Fred Gwynne's last role, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned that or not.
Yeah, he died not too long after, right?
Yeah, 93, pancreatic cancer.
Oof.
When the fuck did Pet Sematary come out?
91, 92, somewhere there. Right around that time.
Yeah, because it was a little after Terminator 2, so I think it was like 92.
All right, well, let's get the wrap up and throw up these ads that we got going on here. Promote some shit.
Do I still get paid?
Hey everybody, Laser Trading Company is on YouTube. See some of the videos from Mike's travels and experiences. If you haven't already, please head over and subscribe. 7,800 and growing. Thank you all. Laser Trading Company is also available on eBay with various merchandise and collectibles. Hundreds of great gift ideas. That's Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. You know him from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk, and the Video Store Clerks Podcast. He is the creator of Stoner Gore, Jack Nasty! And if you're looking for the latest in extreme horror, head over to Amazon.com, look up Chuck Nasty, and the following titles are available. Along with the latest album, Decay of Man, from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube now.
Also, be sure to go check out Chuck's other books over on the Amazon. Twisted Eyeball Juice, created cover art by his son Dax, and The Rocking Chair. You can get both of those over on Amazon Prime. Well, I guess just Amazon. Fuck it. Then also be sure to go check out our good buddy Freddie Wall, head programmer and supervisor over at Freddie Productions, also founder of Scotch Freddie Productions, doing his horror game show Better Luck Than Chuck. Be sure to go check that out as well. Nice. And our friend Mick Manhattan here, what you got going on? I know you're going to be doing the Scream Fest thing again, or Fear Fest.
Yeah, I'll be down at Carolina Fear Fest this weekend. It starts Friday. Brand new. They have 3 days going this year, and it's going to be really exciting. We're the media partners for them. So go check out the Scene Snobs, Carolina Fear Fest. Follow us, know what's going on. We're going to have bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to be up on the main stage Friday night, so make sure you come and see me. We'll be doing Stump the Scene Snob there. But we're also going to be doing all the interviews, things like that going on. We got tons of great, amazing, iconic actors like Malcolm McDowell's going to be there. I love Malcolm McDowell. Tiffany Shepis is going to be there, Nancy Loomis, Eileen Dietz, William Catt. There's a ton of people going. I can't remember them all at the moment, but go check out carolinafearfest.com. And if you're in the Raleigh area, get your tickets.
There we go. I ain't been down there yet. I'll have to check that out one year.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Sounds like a good time. I like my cons. They're fun. All right, so that will be, let's see, next week's episode. Mike will not be here, but Chuck will be back. Mike will be in Vegas doing his thing in the old World Series of Pokerland.
Nice.
And he'll leave me, Chuck, and Dave, or possibly Mick as well if he wants to join in, or anybody else from our podcast family over at Sturdy's, or Professor T, or whoever. But next week we're going to be doing Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard 3.
Nice.
So
I encourage everyone to watch the alternate ending too. Make that part of your discussion. I think that alternate ending is worth a watch.
It's weird. I watched it a couple times on my DVDs.
Yeah.
It's different. But we
I
might
think they made it black and white in DVDs too. It's weird.
What was that?
I don't know. I might make a guest appearance. You never know. I wouldn't miss it. Not for all the gold in your Fort Knox.
Ooh. Well, there you have it. Let's get out of here for this evening. We are your video store clerks. We'll see you next Tuesday at 10 p.m. with Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Hey,
Thanks
are you gonna plug any of fucking Mick shit, or are you just gonna say, fuck off?
Oh, I was just doing Carolina Fear Fest this year. I'm at the Scene Snobs too. You can go check me out there. That's it.
All the links are below. Dave's gonna punch them in there for you. You can go check that out.
The links for Mick, Scene Snobs, and Sturdy are all underneath the bottom, and I believe Professor T.
Yes,
they're on there every time, every episode we have. They're down.
Easy to find. What about Chuck's video?
Podcast family.
What about Chuck's video? We're scrapping that.
We did play Chuck's video.
Huh?
No, that'll be up as a short.
Oh, okay. Copy that.
I asked the same thing, but he said no. Restream. Anyway, we shall be back next Tuesday, 10 p.m. We will see you next Tuesday.
Night.
Maybe.
You were serious about that?